Thank you very much, Melanie. I think everybody in this room could feel your passion and your big heart, which must be beating for Africa. Thank you very much. And everybody was thinking, I felt that too, this lady isn't 50 yet, is she? Anyway, thank you very much. A compliment. Yeah, right, you're right, 55. Okay, thank you very much. And now I think we're all curious to meet some lionesses, some, as you said, ambassadors in person up here on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, our first pitch round. Please welcome Vere Shaba, our first lioness. Moses Aqua, Josephine Marie Goodwill, and Timothy Cottin. I think it's there, yeah. So these are our first 4 startups from Africa. Good evening. Good evening. And they will now present their enterprises, ladies and gentlemen, and you are very welcome to ask your questions afterwards. We have 4 presentations, and then we have 5 minutes of Q&A, so please don't hesitate to ask your questions, your comments. I think our guests up here will be more than happy to answer your questions. So we start with Vere Shaba. The stage is yours. Please go ahead. From South Africa, Shaba Ramplin Green Building Solutions. And I hope with the presentation, everything all right? Yes.
Hi, good evening. So, I am Vere Shaba. I'm the founder and director of Shaba and Ramplin Green Building Solutions. And Shaba and Ramplin is an engineering consulting firm that specializes in green buildings, so LEED Green Star certifications, engineering solutions, and renewable energy solutions as well. And one of the biggest things that we've seen, because we have clients across the different sectors, private and public, we also have clients in hospitality, in healthcare, and there seems to be a great South African challenge that we have. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it's a global challenge that every single one of us have to deal with. And this is specifically knowing that in a few weeks' time, Germany will be hosting COP, which looks at climate change and the impact that buildings have on the climate. So this global challenge that we're facing is that buildings consume 41% of all the energy in the world. So if you look at the buildings, I'm talking about commercial and residential buildings, not even industrial. That's not even the one that consumes the most. And to be honest, it's really because we've been designing our buildings incredibly inefficiently in terms of energy, in terms of water, and in terms of waste. And at the end of the day, that means that we're spending money on something that we're not actually using the way that we need to use it. And not only that, so not only do buildings contribute towards greenhouse gas emissions, but there was a study that was conducted that showed that more people are dying from air pollution and land pollution and water pollution than even malaria, HIV, AIDS, and tuberculosis combined. So we're kind of not doing the best in terms of buildings. And so the solution that came about is that people thought, okay, so let's start having, BMSs within our buildings, because that way you'll be able to measure and monitor how your energy and water consumption is. But this is what happened. We started having multiple silo systems where you have so many systems all interlinked with so many different things that we don't actually know. There's so much complexity, and it's more complicated than actually how it used to be. So the solution that we have is a green building solution, which looks at a very integrated system using our technology. So just to give you an idea, this is kind of all the things that you look at, and every single one of us are in a building. We're in a building right now. And these are all the different things that one has to look at. And what our system does, which is the benchmark platform, it combines everything into one platform that one can operate from anywhere in the world. So I can sit in Lagos, and I'm able to trend and see how my building is performing in another place. So how this works is we use MQTT technology, which is message queue telemetry transport technology, and we take all the systems on the edge, and we are able to translate it into a language that can be used on one system and on different enterprise software so that you're able to control and manage and monitor and track how your building performs. And so this is just an example of one of the buildings that we were looking at in Johannesburg, where one is able to control their system from anywhere in the world. And that's essentially so like how we can partner together in terms of what we're doing is if you're a building owner, then one can look at using the system and using the platform. And if you're someone who would like to invest in this product, then that's something that we can also talk about. And also, if you're looking at some of your buildings in Africa as a German company, then this is also something that one can use in terms of that. And that's essentially what we do at Shaban Ramplan and through the Benchmark platform, is that we engineer green buildings and we get complexity simplified. Thank you.
So if you should have questions to Vere, please keep them in mind or note them down. We will hear the other three presentations and then come to your questions. Right now, we would like to welcome up here on stage Moses Agua from Agro Center in Ghana.
Good evening. Good evening. Always we hear this, that an idea is a seed. And what I want to share with you is a little bit of a story. My father used to say, you reap what you sow. And with hard work, you can always be able to reap the fruit of your labor. This is Agro Center. What we see is that, unfortunately, it's always not true. Sometimes we sow, we reap, but then there are challenges like lack of access to the market. And farmers, like my dear friends, get exploited. Again, an idea is a seed. So what do? For us as Agro Center, we have a solution that helps that they can reap what they sow and enjoy the fruit of their labor. We use technology to give these farmers access to the market, give them information, give them training, be able to have right market prices, the value that they have, that they can gain from the market without being exploited. Like you can see, we give them the information, and you see that also what we have learned is that there is always the need to give them access to other things such as transportation, such as infrastructure, and that is what for us we do. With our current off-takers of about 4 who are big off-takers, we also have been able to have over 3,000 small scalers. We are already having a revenue of $120,000 US dollars and hoping to exploit Nigeria as well. We do have competitors, but we see that that is not a challenge because as of now, we have 200 billion worth of, 200 billion in terms of the market size, but it grows all the way to 700 billion. And for us, we just want a small cake. 30% is even enough for us, and we can grow much more. We believe in teamwork, and that is why, again, with companies like Green Tech, we team to make it happen. What we've seen is that partnership is key, and just like was said earlier on stage, we believe that once we partner, we can definitely make sure that we can enjoy the fruit of our labor. So all I want to say today is, do you want to sow a seed with us? Do you want to join us, go to the farm, and reap the fruit of our labor? Thank you very much.
Three minutes. It's a challenge, isn't it? Very good. 3 minutes. And we have another African startup enterprise offering a creative solution for the German market. Please welcome Josephine Marie Goodwill from Young at Heart, Ghana.
Good evening. 4 years ago, I had the glorious opportunity to volunteer as a young engineering graduate at a rural community school. I was shocked that children in this rural community school would have about 9 years of basic school and never have any practical lesson in science, technology, math, engineering. Their eyes lit up when we came to a bargain. They would come to school regularly and attend and participate actively in class, provided they could use my phone to explore technology. Little did I know that it was going to lead to one of the highest attendance and participation rates in the schools. The kids knew what they wanted. They wanted engaged learning. They wanted to explore technology. And so there is no doubt about the fact that children love to interact with smart tech. It has revolutionized the way we live, work, and learn, and then play. And so this experience in rural Ghana led to the establishment of a thriving digital literacy organization called Young at Heart Ghana. What we do is to focus on digital literacy outreaches using volunteers from universities in Ghana. They go to rural communities and then empower youth and children with digital literacy skills. We set up IT hubs so that they can have continuous practice, as well as giving them access to the internet. Our latest platform is Anansi the Teacher. Anansi is a folklore hero in Ghana. What we do is we use Anansi's stories to engage children with practical science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So in that picture, you see Anansi carrying a cobra. We link it to creating simple machines, and using a balloon, cardboard, and some bottle tops, they can create their own simple machine. It's linked to a game where they learn about recycling. So we are making learning fun, and we are making it engaging. And it's attracted so much attention, both locally and on the global level. We have, of course, downloads from Ghana, United States, and I'm happy to say Germany. So moving on, we are looking at partnering with hardware tech companies that are willing to empower our mobile labs. Mobile labs are going to go out to schools and communities in rural communities, and they're going to give children access to smart technology, linking it to the everyday things they find around them so they can practice science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And that is the Africa we want. That is the Africa we seek to achieve, the Africa that has children being able to link the things that they study in school to the everyday things that they find around them. So this is what I pitch to you. If there are people from Siemens, there are people from any kind of hardware tech company, I'm the one you should talk to after. Thank you.
Josephine Marie Goodwill from Young at Heart, Ghana. And again, keep your questions in mind, ladies and gentlemen. You will have the opportunity in a second. And we come to our fourth presentation, Timothy Cotton, who is, by the way, about to open an office here in Berlin. Is that right?
That is correct. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Timothy Cotton, and I'm the founder and CEO of Superfleet Labs. We are a data analytics business in Ghana and Kenya, and very soon we'll be opening an office right here in Germany as well. Although our team is currently still very small, we have extensive world-class professional, academic, and technical experience, as hopefully the slide above would convey. Today, I want you to leave this event with 3 takeaways. Superfleet Labs is all about data, machine learning, and Africa. Data, machine learning, and Africa. Data. Did you know that 90% of the digital data in the world was created in just the last 2 years? The world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, but is now considered to be data. And data analytics is no longer just a nice concept. It has become the core of the modern enterprise. What is driving this explosive growth in data is 2 things. One is increasing digitalization of existing industries, and secondly is increasing access to mobile phones as well as other internet-connected devices. At Superfleet Labs, our mission is to empower businesses, SMEs, and enterprises with tomorrow's data analytics capabilities today. Our initial focus industries are finance, energy, and agriculture. Why? These industries have the potential of impacting several hundreds of millions of individuals. They are currently undergoing rapid digitalization, and also they have massive amounts of untapped and underutilized data sources. What makes our proposition unique is 3 things. First is our ability to combine traditional data such as financial transactions that banks may have with emerging new data sources such as social media and mobile money. Second is our use of machine learning technologies to provide precise and automated decision-making. And finally, we deliver our solution through an enterprise software as a service model. At this juncture, I'd like to provide 2 examples of this impact. The first is a UK-based solar finance company that is providing off-grid solutions in Africa. Earlier this year, they asked my firm to help them solve two problems. The first was to predict customers' utilization and behavior in the future, and the second was to identify good and ideal customers for potential upgrades of their solution. After engaging with this client for just 2 months, our machine learning platform showed that they were able to increase their monthly revenue by 40%. Another story. How did a small bank in East Africa grow 400 times in just 5 years? The answer is machine learning. They launched a new mobile-based product that provided unsecured loans as well as savings. And in just 5 years, they grew their number of customers to 20 million plus customers, disbursed almost $1 billion worth of loans, and guess what? They had industry record-setting low default rates. All of this was possible through machine learning. Through our previous experience with this client, we found that they were able to even further increase their revenue by 85% and reduce defaults by 40%. Tonight, we are seeking just 3 things: conversations with potential partners, potential clients, and possibly potential investors as well. Thank you.
And let me mention that, talking about data and, thank you, data and cell phones, if you would like to communicate via social media, please use our hashtag StartupNight. So it would be nice to gather all your information and questions, comments, and pictures, whatever, to have a nice Sammelsurium später. Das wäre toll. Vielen Dank. So now, ladies and gentlemen, are there any questions to our 4 pitch members up here? I think there was quite a lot of information for the first pitch round, and you do have the opportunity to meet them later, sure, during our poster session, but maybe there are questions right now. We have 2 beautiful ladies with microphones, don't we? Yes. So if you have a question or a comment, please raise your hand. Otherwise, yeah, there is one. Benedict, I think.
Thank you. My question goes to Josephine of Young at Heart. I'm keen to hear how you can finance, or how you expect to finance the scaling up and really turning this into a business model or something that is self-sufficient.
So thank you very much for the question. One way we are monetizing this app is through tokens. So there are different parts of the app that require for you to purchase a token in order to access. So that's one way. And also content replacement. So the stories have typical everyday things that users do, and we are replacing content from different organizations. So ice cream companies, toffee companies, etc., anything that screams out to children, and so they support us. And then also we are looking at one-time deals where, for example, any brand or company could have this as an exclusive app on their phones. So whenever you sell to families, it comes with the app, and it gives you a marketing edge over other phones that don't have the app. So that's how we are hoping to monetize it. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to know, what do you, the 4 of you, expect of a potential German partnership, of the German partner? What skills should the enterprise or the company have? Barry, maybe.
Okay, so I'm an engineer, studied at the University of Cape Town, and a lot of the times we would use German examples on technology when it comes to green buildings, ranging from solar to the Internet of Things to just monitors and sensors. So what we would love is to get a sense of the knowledge transfer and the skills transfer, and even if the incubator programs that exist, where African companies who are trying to implement some of these green building technologies can implement them using a lot of the knowledge. So all of our solar panels in South Africa are imported. We don't have a manufacturing plant there, and most of them come from Germany. So it'll be nice to get a sense of knowledge transfer or incubation from a green building and engineering perspective.
I would also add to it that, yes, knowledge transfer is important. At the same time, we need equipment and knowledge in terms of infrastructure building internally, because again, like for instance, we are in the agro business, and for us, it's important to have like tractors, to have like how to even maintain these tractors when they break down. So for us, it's important that we have this kind of equipment, at the same time knowledge transfer in maintaining or developing them. And again, I would say that what we have realized in the recent years as we continue to develop the business is that we saw that always the need keeps growing into different sectors. For instance, our solution was technology, but we realized that we also needed to do logistics. We also needed to do training in terms of giving the farmers knowledge as to what they are supposed to sow, what fertilizers. So I believe strongly that knowledge transfer is also important.
Okay, so we are currently in the process of launching our mobile laboratories, and so we're looking forward to engaging with hardware, smart tech companies that can help us stock these mobile laboratories so children can have portable laboratories in their pockets. And definitely, we're also looking at knowledge transfer. We've already started engaging with some partners who are doing this in Malawi. So making sure that it spreads globally. So we are not only having Ghanaian African stories, we can have Malawian stories, we can have German stories as well, so that children here can also benefit from engaged learning.
Thank you.
Should work.
So I see two ways in which we can partner with German organizations. The first is that several German businesses in the energy sector, agriculture, finance, are actually operational in Africa. So I gave the example of a UK-based client that is working in Rwanda and Kenya, but I know there are several German businesses here on today's invite list who are also working in Africa. And we would like to partner with such firms to provide them with world-class data analytics skills, as well as our relevant local knowledge. The second thing is that Germany is a large development partner and development supporter in the world. So I've studied the reports of multiple financial institutions in Africa. DEG, KfW repeatedly appear as financial supporters. Imagine if, through the work of organizations like mine, we could double the impact of your funding. Just think about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure there will be German partners for you. Thank you very much. This is your applause. Our first 4 pitch members. Thank you very much. And as I said before, you are going to have the chance to meet our pitch members later on during our poster session. So we come to our second round. Please welcome Benji Kötzie, Gerard Badawe Yitamki, I hope the pronunciation is right, Brenda Kadvestje, and Temigiwa Tobusun. Hi. Was that right? It's a challenge for me too with the pronunciation. I'm so sorry. So we start this round with Benji, the founder of ABNB for cargo transport in Africa. And your company, your enterprise is called Empty Trips. And I think the idea is that empty trips should no longer be empty, isn't it? Exactly. Here you go. We're curious to learn more about that. Thank you.
Just checking that it's working. Perfect. So I'm the founder and the CEO of something called Empty Trips, an online transport marketplace better connecting demand and supply to reduce the transport cost of cargo into Africa. So a little bit about myself. I have 2 master's degrees, actually one from Germany in Frankfurt, a corporate finance degree, and I spent some time in investment banking and then with the Boston Consulting Group, a consultant for 4 years, both in South Africa and in Switzerland. So 4 touch points, the why, the who, the how, and the what I'm doing to move Africa forward. So I'm a millennial. We wear shoes that don't fit us. We try to do things that we don't know about. And we're the me generation.
Unfortunately, the millennials do not have a good reputation. But two things that we do stand for is that we care about the environment and we care about equality. Unfortunately, in Africa, we're not doing too well on either. In Africa, we experienced the worst drought in 60 years in 2012. This led to famine and, of course, the food crisis. And beyond the food crisis and the droughts, 15% of the continent's GDP rests on agriculture and production. So Moses, cheers to you. Over and above the agriculture and the production and the trade, our prosperity lies in our competitiveness. To be competitive in any product that we're moving, be it mining, product, commodity, agri, between trade and production is transport. Transport in South Africa and Africa is the most expensive per kilometer in the world. So transport is core to trade and integration, but also behind energy, it's the second largest contributor to carbon emissions. It's also a large and growing industry. Obviously, globally, it's 8.1 trillion. Just in South Africa, it's $15 billion. But it's fraught with a whole bunch of problems. It's fragmented, it's expensive, it's unreliable, and because of this fragmentation and unwillingness to share information with one another, there's a lot of empties running. So about 40% of trucks run empty in Africa and just shy of 70% of trains. That's an issue. So what did I do about it? I started working on an algorithm, and this algorithm matches the deck space available on a truck, train, or plane to the cargo that needs to move. And by doing this, obviously, I better connect the demand and supply, bringing the equilibrium price of transport down. How do we make money? The algorithm obviously is for free for use. And we use online auction and bidding rooms to enable competitive behavior online. We offer cargo insurance, and we also own the IP and intellectual property to a risk premium calculator, which is the first cargo insurance digital product in Africa. All purchases are online and secured, and we are starting now with trade finance with one of the local banks. And last but not least, because our algorithm matches empty space and ideally reducing a second truck running, there's a carbon credit at play, which will also start trading. We've won a number of accolades. We went live in April this year. I'd quit my job in September last year, so I'm broke. And we've won Africa's top startup last month. And it's a lot of hard work, but there's still lots to go. So we're trying to help Africa innovate, become digital, and address multiple issues. And I look forward to speaking to you later.
Thank you, Benji. And we go on with Gerard Badawi Yitamki from Ahunya. I think it's about e-commerce and shopping, and you're offering the possibility to shop abroad and to be delivered in Ghana.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gerard Yitamki, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Ahunya.com. Ahunya means wealth in Twi. It's a very popular Ghanaian language. So Ahunya enables Ghanaians to buy anything they want to buy from Amazon, in US, and then in UK and China as well, and get it delivered in 5 to 10 business days. So the key issue that we see here is there's a lot of challenge if you want to buy certain things that are not in Ghana. Very high shipping costs if you want to buy it from abroad. We have very disappointing customer experience if you go to a website that doesn't offer shipping to Ghana. And we have very limited product selection for some of the things that some of the companies that even offer to ship to Ghana. And payment is very restrictive. Even though PayPal is very popular, it's still not available in Ghana. So here is our solution. We've built this technology that allows users to buy anything they want to buy from Amazon in US and get it delivered in Ghana in 5 days, 5 to 10 business days. So the shipping cost is reduced. We are able to give over 80% off the cost of shipping to Ghana. We have very quality customer experience. You don't get any bounces if you enter your debit card that is issued in Ghana. And we have access to millions of items that you can't otherwise have if you are in Ghana. So here is how it works. You search for anything that you want. You get an instant quote in Ghana cedis. You pay with mobile money, which is very, very popular in Ghana. You order the items. We consolidate everything, whether it's coming from UK, from US, or China, and we ship to Ghana. So here is the technology. we are able to integrate with the site. As soon as you search, you get the search results from all the key sites that we've integrated. And if you click, you get the payment in Ghana cedis, and then you can proceed and check out. Okay, so here is the market opportunity. There's a strong demand for foreign items. And obviously, there's increase in internet connectivity in Africa. It's growing, and there's increase in mobile money usage as well. So this gives us a very good opportunity to have this business now. So this is the market size. On Ahunya.com, the average order value is $150. And we have over 8 million internet users in Ghana. It's growing. And we have 2.5 million people averagely in the middle income class. That is the part of the market that we actually target. So on the average, we are looking to make over $1.5 billion in transactions per year. And we want to expand to Kenya, Nigeria, and the rest of Africa. So this is our business model. So far, we've sold $3.5 million worth of items through our platform. The average of our value is $150, and we are projected to sell 20 million by end of 2018. So these are some of our numbers. We receive over $800 orders per month, and that's about $140,000 in a month. So here are some of the testimonials from our customers from all areas of the economy, from SMEs, from banks, from mining companies, and individuals who find the items they want to buy on our platforms. So this is the team. We are actually 10. I couldn't fit everybody's face here. Yeah. And this is what we did in the past. We started for us, we were in the university, and we tried other things. We had this penny auction site where we registered more than 80,000 people and did more than 5,000 auctions. We also had myahunya.com, which was like a Shopify for Africa, allows people to create their own e-commerce sites and then be able to receive mobile money and also deliver to their customers. So this is what we want to do going forward. We want to hire some key people into our team, and we want to also launch a mobile app before Christmas and expand to Nigeria. And we are looking for German partners to be able to ship things from Germany to Ghana. Those are those things that we will not normally find in Ghana. Okay, thank you very much. Hope to talk to you later.
And again, if you have questions, please keep them in mind. We now welcome Brenda Katwesige, and it's about improving healthcare. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you.
Yes, should be.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to just imagine for a moment where you're seated. Just imagine with me that you're listening to me pitch my business, but you have trouble seeing me, and all you can see is just a blurry image of me standing here, just like this one right here. Just imagine for a second, you can't even see me smile. You can't see when I make eye contact with you. You can't see when I express myself simply because you're visually impaired. It's frustrating, right? Now for us in this room, we're all just imagining. But for 26 million people in Africa alone, that is their reality every single day. This is Rahma, one of the thousands of beneficiaries that we have as Wazi Vision. And this was, up until a couple of months ago, this was her reality every single day. She would go to class and she wouldn't pick anything from the classroom simply because everything that the teacher said, she just couldn't see. So she had to rely on her friends and colleagues in class just so that she could copy notes. My name is Brenda Katwesige. I am from Uganda, and I'm extremely passionate about making eye care more accessible and also affordable, especially for children in my country and in Africa at large. And like I said, in Africa, over 26 million people are visually impaired. But that's not the problem. The problem is that the average cost of a pair of glasses, or even including a test, is $150. Roughly 130 euros, yeah? But then, just for perspective, in my country, Uganda alone, 80% of the population, 80% earns an average salary of $40. So how are they going to afford these kinds of glasses? And that's where Wazi Vision comes in. At Wazi Vision, we are providing two solutions because we know that number one, optometrists are very difficult to find. If you go to the rural areas in Uganda, you will not find an optometrist. So what have we done about it? We have created a mobile application that uses virtual reality technology to be able to test for eye acuity in both children and adults, and this it does without the need for an optometrist. So far, we have attained 75% accuracy, and we're looking for somebody to help us take it to at least 90% accuracy. But what's the point of testing and not solving the problem? So what are we doing? We are training local artisans in Uganda to actually manufacture these glasses, just like the ones I'm wearing, from recycled plastic. They're affordable, they're durable, they're strong, they're cool. I think I really look cool. And the best part is, thank you. The best part about this is they're 80% cheaper than regular glasses, which means that anybody can actually afford them. And that's the solution that we're doing. So it's simple. We test, we prescribe, and you see. And that's the value that Wazi is bringing to you.